Good morning, everyone. Today we will continue with the topic that is general conditions of contract, which is mentioned in the syllabus. Generally, in a given contract document, after the signing from all the parties, generally it consists of what? One agreement, general conditions. This part only we are going to discuss. Apart from these two, we have drawings, we have specification, and we have other documents. Other documents such as bank guarantee, performance guarantees, all those things will be mentioned there. Okay. So here in the general conditions of contract, which is very important portion, of the contract document. What is there? In that, rights, responsibilities, relationship between the different parties are itemized. Itemized means what? Clearly it is mentioned there. So whose rights? Contractor, client, consultant, or any other party which is engaged in that contract, their rights, their responsibilities, and their interrelationship are mentioned over there. So it defines each contracting party's duties, and privileges, and rules that should be the rules that will govern the relationship. So general conditions of contract will perform what? Will perform the rules of the relationship, Okay. In short, in short, general condition, that section is we generally call it as backbone of the entire contract. We call it as backbone of the entire contract. So here what it is telling, general conditions will contain every aspect of the project. So it can be hard to boil everything down into single article. Means what? All the total contract document is split down into small pieces. We call it as clauses. Very important term. We call it as clauses. So general contract is nothing but what? Summation or a representation or writing up of different clauses. So clauses of time, clauses of payment. So like that, they will going to make the subheading for that one. Okay. So here in the general conditions of contract, roles and work of parties is mentioned. First and foremost, general conditions set out the basic duties and responsibilities of all the parties. Here in this section, we'll identify the parties first and their roles on the project and outline each party's rights and obligations to the project and create notification requirement. So in general, in short, you can say that all the parties, contractor responsibility duties, client responsibility duties, everything is mentioned here. So for from the contractor side, what are the clauses we are going to see in a contract document? We can write general conditions of contract. In that, contractor, if they write like this, so generally what are the clauses included? So here they will include detailed description of the work. So what actually work will encompass. Okay. Bonds and assurance which are required for the execution of contract, and warranties and guarantees, these have to be provided from the contractor. So in general conditions, subheading will be made contractor, and under that subheading, these clauses about these works will be mentioned. From the owner side or from the contract client side, what are the clauses that we are going to see? Generally about site conditions, they are going to give change orders, rejection of defective work. These are some of the examples. For these we are writing the clauses. Here one more clause will come about time. So this is one of the clause in general conditions of contract. You should understand like this: general conditions of contract, first clause, let us say it is time. So in time, again they are going to give the sub clauses. If this clause is 1, then again they will write the sub clause 1.1, and they will write time of start of the project. Second one, time to complete the project. Okay. Third one, like this, payment terms, payment time. So like this, they are going to write different sub clauses under the main clause time, which is one of the general conditions of contract. Now you are understanding, general conditions of contract is a set of clauses. Under that first clause, let us say it is time. It may be related to contractor, it may be related to client. Under this clause 1 time, we have so many sub clauses. So sub clause 1.1 says when is the start date of the project. Second subclause may say when is the completion date. Like this, different clauses with respect to different times will be mentioned. In short, you understand that general conditions of contract will explain the terms or give the definitions. So here they are telling that under the subclause time, they are writing about delays and extensions. If any delay occurs, on whose behalf it has occurred and how much time will be extended. So detailing that will be given in this clause. Now you are understanding this point. Like this they are going to write. So next clause, main clause may be about price and payment. This is also one GCC, general conditions of contract. So this may be written. So here what type of clauses, sub clauses will come? So this is the second subclause. Let us say that second subclause, that is price and payment. So under this, what type of clauses will come? Subclauses. Will there be a progress payment or lump sum final payment? Whether payment is made in one time or intermediate payments will be made. So how the progress payment may be scheduled, monthly, quarterly, like that. Okay. What is the payment application process? What shall be the retainage? Means what? How much retention money shall be kept? How is the substantial completion defined on your work? So different payment terms and different price terms are mentioned in this general conditions of contract. Now let us say next main clause is changes. What do you mean by change? If there is any change order, whether there is any change in directive, whether there are minor changes. Change order means what? If already existed contract is there, some additional work is there, some change in work specification is there. So like that, if anything occurs, who is responsible? And what shall be the price for that additional work? Okay, so like that, change orders, change in directive. Change in directive means what? Whether the rates are going to be revised, whether the rates are going to be same for that one. Minor changes which is within the scope of the work itself, means what? A little bit minor change in the quality or quantity. So related to these, the condition should be explained there. So that is why we are calling it as a main clause change under GCC, and subclause we have change order, change in directive, minor changes. Like that, all the changes about the contract will be explained. Okay. So next main clause may be suspension. Let us say it is the fourth main clause, suspension and termination. So if there is any damage occurred from the contractor side, how the client will suspend that work, how the contract will be terminated, whether by giving notice or whether by giving 6-month notice. Like that, the conditions or the clauses will be explained about this suspension of the contract and termination of the contract. So here they have written so in this typical example, how they have terminated the contract, how they have suspended the contract. But when you are writing in the exam, you can just write in the suspension and termination clause, general conditions of contract, the procedure for suspension of work, who has authority, and what should be the time notice, whether any what is that, fines are put on the contractor. So related to them you can write it. Okay. So next is claims and disputes. Okay, if there is any change in quantity or change in rate, who is entitled to claim for that one additional price, additional money, okay, additional time? If both parties agrees, no claim, claims will be settled. Other than, it will lead to disputes. So under the condition of dispute, what shall be the procedure to resolve those disputes? So everything is mentioned in the claims and dispute subclause. So under this under this clause, disputes resolution, we have so many subclauses. So anything you can write it there. Okay. So apart from that, I have given a list of general conditions of contract. You should write at least 1 or 2 lines in the main exams about this one. Okay. So these are some of the general conditions of contract which will be there in a typical contract. Definition and interpretation. So what do you mean by this term? Scope of work means what? Okay. What is mean by excavation? What do you mean by this one? So like that, you are giving what definition in the first section. In the second clause, you are writing about language and law of that contract. Third is what should be the engineer's decision and what is its responsibility, how the communication has to be done. Other contractor and other persons means who and who. Employer and contractor risk means what, when something disputes occur, who is going to bear the risk. Okay. What about insurance, whether contractor has taken an insurance or client has taken an insurance. Site investigation report which should be submitted before the award of contract, like that. So many clauses have to be included as a general conditions of contract. So here completion date, safety and discovery measures, okay, possession of site, access to the site, instruction, disputes, time control, what should be the schedule of works, extension of time, management meetings. So regarding this, so many points are there. You can list out at least 10 to 15 and give it in 1 or 2 lines when you are explaining. Probably this will be a 10 marks question. So you can note down all the points and you can explain 1 or 2 lines. Okay. So this is about typical general conditions of contract. So here they have also given what, okay, what should be the price adjustment, retention, bonus, advance payment, security, days work, finishing the contract, when it will be completed, taking over by whom, and final account, settlement of the final payment. Okay. So what shall be the O&M, okay, operation and maintenance, how it shall be started, how the contract may be terminated, how the performance amount can be released. So every clauses will be mentioned. Okay, like that it is going to be mentioned. Apart from that, some additional special conditions of contract which are pertaining to the that typical project. Okay, so it will be explaining about labor laws, payment of gratuity, employees PF, maternity benefit, contract labor, minimum wages. So many additional or special types of contracts will be mentioned in that contract, which are applicable to that project, Okay. Specification generally contain about these works. Okay. Water supply, mode of measurement, about extra items, surveys, canteen facility, telephone. So all these also should be mentioned in the general conditions of contract. Okay. General conditions of contract. Okay, so these are the some of the typical specifications as mentioned in the general conditions of contract. Okay. Now, the very important term which is mentioned in the syllabus, that is bank guarantee, performance bank guarantee or guarantees at the signing of the contract. Now, let us say some client is there or owner is there. Now, apart in that, one contractor is selected after the bid evaluation and tendering, everything is completed. One contractor is selected. Now, what he will do? Client will issue a LOI. Sometimes LOI, letter of intent, means what? In that letter, the client is intent to give that work to this contractor. He will accept that one. What is doing? Everything is there. Everything is okay after tendering, and client has selected one contractor, and he will give LOI, letter of intent. Means what? I have an intention to give this work to you. Okay. Now that say will say contractor. Okay, I will agree. Now next immediately he will give LOA form. LOA means what? Letter of acceptance. Letter of acceptance from client to contractor. That means what? Both parties are accepting this work. Both parties are accepting this work. Okay. So once LOA is issued from client to contractor, he will write a letter to the client that I have accepted your work. That is what this common term LOA, letter of acceptance between both parties. Just it will happen before the signing of contract. This is a one document which forms the contract document, which is the final contract is there, no? So in that, this is also one of the document, that is LOA, letter of acceptance from the contractor to this. At the time of this letter of acceptance, he has to give so many forms. He has to give so many forms, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Some numbers will be given. That EMD is there. EMD is at the time of quoting the rate. Means what? Before selection of contractor only that EMD will come. So EMD is what? 5% or 7% of the amount. So earnest money deposit. If contractor is selected, then that amount is converted into one of the security. That is other part. Otherwise, that EMD is refunded back for those contractor whose rates have been not accepted. That is one part. Suppose say here accepted, here the work is accepted. Now what is the documents he has to give apart from this? So they have been given some forms. So form 7 may be bid form, means what? Here all the terms and conditions will be there, he is signing that one. Form 8 means what? Bid security as a bank guarantee. Form 9 means what? Performance bank guarantee. For 10 means what? Advance payment guarantee. Means what? Here he is getting the, see here, generally there are two types of guarantee: performance bank guarantee. Performance bank guarantee means what? Contractor is giving some guarantee for the work he is going to execute. So otherwise what will happen? Client will be under problem when contractor will not do. So for to avoid that problem, at the starting of that work, contractor is giving some assurance or guarantee in the form of bank guarantee. He is giving the guarantee in writing. It is in the form of bank guarantee, which consists of some amount. What is happening there? Approximately 10% of the contract amount, approximately 10% of the total contract amount, bank is giving in the form of guarantee that if contractor is not doing later, you can take money from me. That type of guarantee is provided by him. So this is called as a performance guarantee, which is provided by bank. Apart from that, there is one more thing is there. What is that? Every time 5% RD is deducted, retention deposit means what? Every time from the running bill, 5% of the amount is deducted, which will be given later. This is also one security deposit. This is called as a security deposit. So this is performance guarantee. This is security deposit. Means what? At the later, both these amounts are going to be released. So at the completion, after the defect liability period, after the 14 days of defect liability completed, 50% will be given of the total deducted amount, both RD and this performance bank guarantee. Remaining 50% when no defect liability certificate, when no defect certificate is issued. So contractor is going to give project completion certificate, plus 1 year later defect liability period is completed, he is going to issue no defect certificate. Two certificates he is going to issue, one before the defect liability period, that means after the completion of this one, completion certificate. After that, no defect certificate he is going to issue. After issuing of these documents, contractor can claim the amount. What are the amount? That performance bank guarantee or retention deposit which he has deducted. No, so that amount is going to be recovered from the client after this no defect certificate. Apart from that, contractor will give some guarantee for advance payment, and client will give advance payment, some amount of the advance payment. So here client is going to give some amount as an advance. To secure this amount, contractor is also giving some guarantee in the form of bank guarantee, which is called as bank guarantee for advance payment. For what reason? Client is giving some advance, no, some 10% or 5% for bringing the labor, bringing the machinery, bringing the goods, for accessing, for mobilization. Okay, for all those things contractor requires some advance payment. Okay, so client is going to give that advance payment, which is approximately 10% of the amount. But recovery, how it is done? From the every running account will which will be recovered, some simple interest is put. Okay, some with interest is going to give the that amount. Okay, interest is charged for that one. And for that amount, contractor at the time of start, he is going to give guarantee again, guarantee in the form of bank guarantee. So how many guarantees? One is performance bank guarantee, and another is bank guarantee for advance payment. So here security deposit generally consists of two things: one is performance guarantee, another is retention money. Okay, one is a security deposit. For that one you have performance guarantee from the bank, another is every month there will be deduction, that is retention deposit. Apart from this, another guarantee will be paid, that is advance payment guarantee. These are some of the guarantees which will be paid. Okay, so remaining everything is explained, you can refer this one. Okay. Okay, advance against machinery, what should be the amount? Okay, like this it is there. So when it should be recovered, secured advance, when it is going to be recovered. Okay, like that it is going to be mentioned. Sometimes the bill is pending, client is not signed, but for that month also contractor is asking for money. Okay, work actually done but not measured, so the payment is not released, so that is why he is also taking the advance payment for that work done. Okay, so like this it is mentioned.